to this week's Movie Math, giving you an in-depth analysis of the box office for the weekend of May 11th, where Dark Shadows was unfortunately the epitome of The Walking Dead, and I'm not talking about AMC's popular TV show. Vastly underperforming, Dark Shadows opened in second place, posting a number more reminiscent of earlier lackluster Burton Depp pairings than their more recent hits. But at least it wasn't Sweeney Todd bad. In fact, Dark Shadows opened almost exactly on par with Sleepy Hollow, another film where Burton and Depp took a famous story and ran away with it. Sleepy Hollow only just barely made its budget back, but Dark Shadows cost $50 million more to make, plus it faces much stiffer competition in the weeks ahead. This is also an embarrassing stumble for Johnny Depp, who is not only further proving he can't succeed without Disney, but that he picks better costumes and projects. This is Depp's third producing effort, something he just recently took up, and based on his track record, something he should drop. Sure, Hugo was nominated for 11 Academy Awards, but it failed to win any of the big ones. Plus, it fared so poorly at the box office, it's rumored to have put GK Films in danger of going out of business. GK Films is also behind Dark Shadows, as well as The Tourist and The Rum Diary, and right about now might be reevaluating whether or not they want to be in the Johnny Depp business. Further adding to Dark Shadows' embarrassment is the rumor that theater owners pressured Warner Brothers into giving up showings of the film to the Avengers. This, quite frankly, disaster underscores the schism between the quirkiness that initially won Burton and Depp a cult following and the mainstream success they've currently been enjoying. Clearly that success is something neither Burton or Depp totally understands. Dark Shadows' poor box office performance is also certainly adding salt to Warner Brothers' wounds, as the studio is also watching its dominance in the comic book genre disintegrate. And I know you DC fans and Nolanites don't like to hear it, but it's time once again to face some cold hard facts. Few doubted that the Avengers would hold on to the #1 spot for its second weekend, but few expected the film to earn another $100 million. But the even bigger headline is that the Avengers has passed the $1 billion mark after just 10 days of release in the US and 19 days abroad. It is the fastest grossing film in movie history, up to $373 million at the 10-day mark domestically, putting it $60 million ahead of The Dark Knight. Now, while one could argue that IMAX and 3D give the Avengers an unfair advantage, it's currently outpacing similarly decked out Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 by $100 million. Potter, though, had suffered a 72% drop in its second weekend, while the Avengers' 50% drop is closer to The Dark Knight's, and puts it steadily on course to join James Cameron's flicks across the $2 billion mark. Speaking of James Cameron, his movies made it to $2 billion slowly and steadily, while the Avengers is taking off like a rocket. Good thing is there are plenty of other big-ticket movies coming down the pike, while both Avatar and Titanic came out in December, allowing them to easily dominate the movie wastelands of January and February. But then again, is there any other film as big as the Avengers? Studio tracking is showing that Marvel's heroes are sucking up all the audience interest, at least in May, with both The Dictator and Battleship enjoying high awareness among audiences, but little intent to see. That means it's up to Men in Black 3 or Snow White and the Huntsman to derail this box office hulk. As for the rest of the box office this week, there really wasn't much money left on the table, but that created a great situation for the Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, which in this bleak landscape was able to secure the #8 spot despite playing in just 178 theaters. This coming weekend, Universal hopes they can interest audience in an aircraft carrier that doesn't fly, with the special effects actioner expected to open with $51 million. Will it be enough to secure the #1 spot? Meanwhile, The Dictator and What to Expect When You're Expecting are both pegged to open with around $20 million. Or will they? Can the Avengers be stopped? Do you think it deserves to be the fastest grossing movie of all time, and potentially one of the top 3? Plus, Dark Knight fans, do you still believe Batman can catch up box office-wise? Be sure to share your thoughts down below. And that's the weekend box office. I'm Grace Randolph, and we just did some movie math. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll go beyond the trailer for these other top movies.